realm of burnout, like unhealthy motivations and how that ultimately led you to a place of burnout. And you say, it doesn't matter how much water you pour in your bucket if your bucket is filled with holes. And so, man, that struck me and I thought, wow, that's even another starting point, is like looking back and saying, even beyond kind of where we're all presently in this conversation with burnout, is like, what are those things that kind of led us to this place? And so there's even like a deeper level of soul searching, I think, right, that we all need to do before we just move on too quickly from this.
So let me just say, I don't want to paint a before and after picture where everything's amazing now and back then I was a disaster. There were some good things that happened, and there's still some stuff I struggle with on a daily basis, and motivation is one of them. But if
Hmm.
I look back on my 30s, right, a lot of there, it's easy to get very proud of a church that's growing. It's Tim Keller who says, "Don't let success go to your head and failure go to your heart." But I was guilty as charged until I burned out with that, where success went to my head and failure went to my heart. And I had to really make sure that I
Hmm.
was going to be properly motivated. There was one day in particular, because as a preacher, people are having roast pastor after you finish. And I always want to improve. I want to be a better communicator. And some of that is very healthy. Like, do you think the Apostle Paul was ambitious? I do. I think he was ambitious. I have one guy who says, I think it's unproven but interesting theory, that Jesus said, "Okay, Peter, we're going to build the church on you." And then Peter's like, "Well, I don't know about the Gentiles, and I don't know about this." And then he's like, "All right, I need a plan B. Paul, off your horse. Come on, Paul." I'm like, well, that's plausible, right? Because Paul's so motivated, and at times he gets all up in your face in Second Corinthians and places like that. So God uses ambition, but mine was really fueled by an insecurity and a striving that was not healthy. And on my bad days, it still is. But I remember coming back from preaching one day and asking Tony, my wife, I'm like, "Well, how was that?" And she said, "It was a good message." And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, like good or like really good?" And she goes, "No, it was really good." And I'm like, "Okay, like really good or excellent?" And she kind of looked at me and she said, "Carey, it was a really good message." I said, "Okay, what could I have done to have made it excellent?" And she just looked at me and she just said, "I don't know what that hole in the bottom of your soul is, but I am incapable of filling it."
So it's Tony we need to thank for that.
Oh, thank her for the fact that I'm alive today. She
Uh,
didn't
Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more finance, governance, and fundraising news and insights for your church or ministry.